Hello and welcome back to another week of playing Pauper. This week's deck is Mono White Metalcraft, and for this week we are doing something a little bit different. Instead of taking this deck into a league, I'll be facing off against another Pauper content creator, Pauper Fox. We'll be facing off against their white-red Landfall deck in a best-of-3 exhibition match. You can watch the videos from my point of view here, and you can also go and check out the Pauper Fox YouTube channel to see the game from Will's perspective. Thank you to Yosef for submitting this deck to me. And without further ado, let's get to the deck tech. So this deck contains a lot of cheap, aggressive creatures to attack the opponent with, and that synergize with artifacts. We have Ardent Recruit, which is our 1-mana 3/3 often, our Court Homunculus, which is our 1-mana 2/2 that also counts as an artifact, therefore counting toward Metalcraft. We have our Glinthawk, 1-mana 2/2 flyer, that when it enters, we sacrifice it unless we return an artifact we control to its owner's hand. And we have Thraben Inspector, a 1-mana 1/2 that gives us a cheap artifact to put onto the battlefield that can also be sacrificed for a card draw later. We also have Auriok Sunchaser and Core Skyfisher as our big flyers. Vault Scourge as another cheap flyer that's good with equipment, since it has a lifelink. And also Frogmite, which often costs 0 or 1 mana in this deck. We run the full 4 Bone Splitter, counts as an artifact and is great for pumping up our creatures' attack values to get them through slightly larger creatures that would be blocking. 4 Flare Husk, another cheap Metalcraft enabler that can attack. And 3 Tooth of Chiscoria. Although this card looks a little bit weird, it's nice for bridging the affinity gap between 3 and 4 to make your Frogmites free. It's a good trick to play mid-combat to make your creatures trade up, and it's also good for more damage, pumping in for 1 unblockable damage a turn. The lands in the deck include all the artifact lands that we can manage, all 4 Ancient Den, all 4 Darksteel Citadel, and the rest is filled out with plains. In the sideboard, there's 3 Sunlance when we have to have removal for opposing creatures, 2 Circle of Protection Red against Burn and Izzet Blitz, and 3 Lone Missionary which are good against aggressive decks in general, including Burn. We have 3 Dust to Dust against Affinity, 2 Holy Light against Mono Blue Delver and Elves, and 2 Patrician Scorn, which is good against Hexproof since we can play it for free a lot of the time and destroy all enchantments. So there you have it. This deck doesn't play any main deck removal. It dumps its hand onto the board on turns 1 and 2, and then afterward pumps up the creatures with Bone Splitter, Flare Husk, Tooth of Chiscoria, and the Metalcraft abilities to attack in for the win as quickly as possible. Let's get to the matches and see how we do when facing off against the Landfall deck from Pauper Fox.